Our next presentation bears the title, Parenting from the Grave, Why Every Parent Has a Biblical and Moral Obligation to Make a Will or Trust. Please welcome Canon Yoo.
Parents. Parents hold a unique role in the lives of their children. Just hearing the word elicits a sense of safety and warmth in our hearts. Whether it's a motherly hand laying a Band-Aid on a scraped knee, or a proud father walking his daughter down the aisle, a parent's presence is pivotal in the lives of their children. From buying a child their first car to helping them pay for their first house, in life, a parent's job never ends. But what happens in death? What can a father do when his daughter must stand alone at the altar? What can a mother do when she's not around to instill the right values and principles in her child? What can parents do when their children can't pay for college on their own? Is there a way to provide for, nurture, or raise one's child from beyond the grave? This question highlights the importance of wills and trusts. Although some say that not all parents need a will or trust, I argue that every parent must have a will or trust in order that provides an inheritance to their children because it is their biblical and moral obligation to do so. To begin, it is the biblical duty of parents to provide an inheritance for their children. The Bible tells us in Proverbs 13:22, a good man leaves an inheritance to his children's children, but the sinner's wealth is laid up for the righteous. This verse shows that in order to be good, a parent must have an inheritance set up for his children and even his grandchildren. The Bible emphasizes this duty for parents to care for their children, and in this case, it's through an inheritance. Other verses illustrate this, like 1 Timothy 5:8, which says, "But if anyone does not provide for his relatives, and especially for members of his own household, he has denied the faith and is worse than an unbeliever." See, in order to have true faith, we must care for our family, especially in the cases of parents and their children. Making a will or trust not only fulfills this biblical command to provide an inheritance, but it is also an extremely efficient and practical way of doing so. By passing an inheritance through a will or trust, parents can amply support their children both financially and emotionally. In the next year alone, inheritors are expected to receive, on average, $46,000 per household. That's a whole yearly salary for middle-class individuals. This money is spent paying for education, maintaining financial stability, and planning for the future. Of this wealth, 93.9% of it was transferred through a will or trust. Why? Because wills and trusts are extremely practical ways to give an inheritance. Dave Ramsey, a financial expert with over 30 years of experience, said, "A simple will is all you need to establish a solid financial plan that will protect your family if something were to happen to them." So with this added layer of financial protection, children will be at less risk and less harm will be done if one or both their parents pass away. Additionally, personalized messages can be added to wills, which will provide a sense of comfort and closure to a grieving child. These messages represent the deeper purpose that wills and trusts serve. See, it's easy to think of inheritance as a mere financial matter, but its true value lies in what it represents. When parents take the time, money, and energy to plan for the future, they're sending a crucial message to their children that their future matters and that even after death, their parents will love and care for them. Some argue that young parents don't need to make a will or trust yet. They say that because the parents are young, they'll have plenty of time to create an estate plan for their children. However, every parent, regardless of the age of parent or child, must have a will or trust set up. Death can come upon any parent, young or old. Even though younger parents bear less of a risk of death than older ones, death will still occur. In America alone, over 3.1 million young children ages 0 to 17 have lost at least one parent. These children are at heavy risk of financial hardship and emotional instability if their parents pass away without a will or trust in order. Others argue that parents don't need to make a will or trust for their children because it can cause the children to receive an inheritance before they're mature enough to make good financial decisions, or if their poor character will lead them to make wicked ones. Immature heirs are dangerous. In fact, 30% of all heirs will squander their entire inheritance. However, there's a way to prevent these immature heirs. In every will and every trust, certain conditions or terms of inheriting can be added to avoid mismanagement. If parents worry about the maturity of their children, they can add in a condition like, only give the money to my child when they have a stable job that makes X amount of money per year. If parents worry that their children will make poor or abrupt financial decisions, they can add in a condition like, only give X amount of money to my child each year. If children never meet these conditions required in a will or trust, they are kept from their inheritance. See, by requiring a certain job, milestone, or specific income, children are encouraged to cultivate self-sufficiency and independence, ensuring that they receive their inheritance in both temperance and maturity. See, death is going to come. Death doesn't care if you're ready or not. Death doesn't care if you said goodbye to the ones you love. Young or old, rich or poor, death will come for you. Sometimes we can expect death, but many times death will strike when we least expect it. Whether from a hospital bed or in a car wreck, whether surrounded by family or all on your own, death will call your name. So what can we do? We can't stop death. Certainly can't avoid it, but we can prepare for it. Parents, pick up the pen, pick up the paper, write a will, make a trust. Not only will you be providing financial and emotional security for your child, but you will be giving them a sense of safety and comfort even after you pass on. If you fail to make a will or trust, you are shirking your biblical and moral responsibility as a parent to do so. Through wills and trusts, you can transmit your values and principles to your children through conditions, messages, and instructions. Parents, by writing a will, by making a trust, you can effectively parent your children, even from beyond the grave. Thank you.